with the Mayos, catch the vibe. Every convo gonna feel alive. Tune in now, we got the scoop. Laughs and insights, join the troop.
Chillin' with the Mayo. You know it.
Okay. I think we're live.
We live?
We live.
Let's do it then. All right, welcome to our first episode of Chillin' with the Mayos.
So grab a drink, grab a seat, and then let's hang out. Let's talk. Let's chat. Well,
get
maybe
live.
I should cheers.
Wanna share that? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cheers.
Do it.
Cheers to you guys at home.
So, what you want to talk about today?
So what is Chillin' with the Mayos? So my idea behind this entire situation is, I don't know. I feel like people know us online and people have met us in person at events and things like that. But, have you really got to hang out with the Mayos? Like, have you hung out with us after hours? Are you coming to the house? So we just felt like giving you like an intimate view of us, how we are, how we communicate, our relationship, our lifestyle, our business advice, our financial advice, our family. We're raising children and we're new parents, like 2 years new. So we're just doing all of it all over again. But the number one thing I wanted to get out of this was to just give people an inside look as to like what real life looks like. Like it sounds great on social media and we get to post all the great ups and wins and things of that nature. But do we see the everyday? Do we see the not so hot moments? Do we get the real conversations? And so I think it's just great for us to be able to give our insight on certain things. We're not going to talk about the debate, but we don't do politics. But I don't know. I felt like there was a need for this because I don't know how other people feel, but for myself, I'm fairly young, and there's not a lot of positive role models out there. There's not a lot of people that want to keep it real and tell you the real of like life and marriage and children and life and bills and finances and credit and, all those things. So maybe we have a lot to say. Maybe we don't have anything to say sometimes, but I feel like this is the best person. We're the best people to have some of these conversations with.
Yeah. And, people that know me from online only gets to see one side. They only see the marketing side. They see what we do from a marketing standpoint and from a business standpoint, but then they don't see the other side of, me as a father or, what we do behind the scenes, from our family and what even keeps our family structure so tight. You see a lot of people out here struggling right now and really, really, having a hard time, with their families, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that we don't go through our own trials and tribulations as well, but it's just a little bit different, and with our immediate family, it's a whole lot different, it's a whole lot different. And it's been so many times, we see other people and feel to a certain degree like sad for them because, I'll see certain posts on Facebook, and they're just crying the blues, they're man bashing, they're women bashing, they always got those comparisons, these women said this, what you need to have a real man, and this is what you need to have a real woman. And, it's really unfortunate because that's just them basing their life off what they've been dealing with already, you know what I'm saying? What they've already been through and what they've already gone through in life. So now that becomes everybody's situation now, basically. It's like hurt people type situation. And when you don't even know what a good relationship looks like because you might have grew up broken home or mom's was, or dad, dad was out the picture or mom said was always, oh, I'm a strong black woman, you know what I mean? Or whatever. I don't need nobody. I can just do it by myself. And, if that's what you was raised with and that's what you was grilled into your brain from the time that you was a kid, what did you think is going to happen once you become an adult?
And it's funny you say that because we have this conversation a lot about how we were raised and how we came up and the things that were like instilled into us that were important, and just certain mantras and things that have kept for generations and generations. And now that we're the generation, we're the oldest, we're the ones leading the path, it's just important to break down some of these things and really rethink that not everything that we were taught is just how it has to be. And I think when people come outside of that stigma of like, oh no, but this is what it's supposed to be, and give other opportunities to open-minded thoughts or just different aspects of life, it can be life-changing. And I think that that's how you break generational curses. It's because we can't just continue to do the same thing over and over. Our eating habits, our health habits, our exercise habits, all of those things have to change if we want to be different than how our parents were, and so forth and so forth.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. A lot of times they be saying it's hereditary, but really, what's hereditary is the habits that you
mhm,
was, what I mean, that you was taught. It just gets handed down, generation to generation. So then you start having these issues. You start having, diabetes or high blood pressure, or you looking, every bit of your age, and you start having these type of issues. A lot of times it's from directly what you're eating. But if you think back, you're like, well, you know what? My mom taught me to eat like that. My mom's mom taught them to eat like that. So when I really think about it, what am I
right.
doing any different? So guess what? You're gonna get them same results. They was getting the diabetes, they was getting the high blood pressure, they was getting the amputations and things like that. And the cool thing about this generation is this generation kind of is waking up a little bit. You see people being a lot more health conscious, even in fast food. They're trying to give you health options where before you wouldn't even get that. You go to a store, you go to a restaurant, you look on the menu, you're not getting that.
It was a salad.
That
It
was
was
about as
always
good
a
as gonna get.
salad and like maybe one tilapia dish, or I mean, now you're lucky to get 3 or 4 fish dishes, but it used to just be
Or the cod.
the fish and chips.
The fish and chips, cod.
So I feel like they've done a great job evolving food, but it's still a lot out there that people should be wary of. That takes the cake.
Yeah, facts. So those are the type of things that we want to touch on, and we're going to touch on because it's just
We're
about
gonna
real
touch on
life,
it.
and like I said, you guys get to see one side of me, and you get to see one side even sometimes of our family, what we want to show you. And that's how most things are in life anyways. People show you what they want you to see. That's why I tell people all the time, I be like, I'm very heavy on Facebook, and I tell people, don't believe everything's Facebook. Don't believe everything's Facebook. Don't think everything's Facebook, man. You know what I mean? You seeing Corn Mayo, but it's a whole nother
Oh
person too. Like, don't think everything's Facebook, but in the good way though, like for real, because you look at things and you judge people based off of what they're posting or what they're showing you, and a lot of times that's just exactly what that is. That's just what they're showing you. You're seeing one side, one dimension, and you're basing a whole you're building up this whole avatar of this person based off of what they showed you versus who they potentially might really be. They might really be an introvert, but then on social media they can be out. They could be loud. You know what I mean?
I can't tell you how many times I think I know somebody on Facebook and then I meet them in person and they're totally different from what I expected or what I thought or what I've pieced together by what they posted. And again, we all take things so differently. So how you interpret somebody else's message isn't necessarily how they meant it. So I think it's funny. I enjoy meeting people in person more. So like COVID, the pandemic it was crazy just to even experience that. But I'm a people person. I am not one of the I live with an introvert. I am the butterfly that likes to socialize.
I'm definitely an
so,
introvert.
so nonetheless, but again, I like this atmosphere. I like this type of a feel to it because again, like I can't think of something that I put on or that we watch or because we watch shows, but I can't think of anything that feels positive or that feels like an open space or that feels like a good time. I mean, whether to be personable or just to pop in and say, hey, I think it's always nice to connect with people in a different way. And so I think this will be fun. I really do.
Yep. And it goes to show too, like it's enough negativity out there in the world, and like it that of course like negativity always breathes past faster than positivity, so that's one of the reasons why you're going to see a lot of that, because of course they're going to get a bigger reaction, they're going to get bigger numbers, and just like you see a car crash, you can't help but look. But at the end of the day, people don't what it is misery love company, and when you see other people going through something worse than yourself, then it makes your life feel just a little bit better, you know. But that's not a that's not a elevating way to think of things. What I mean, that's not a way you're gonna become the best you, because now you bring all this negative energy within you and into your circumference, and then now you can even make yourself believe that you're better because it's based off of what you've seen other people doing. And like I said, since their life is looking like, oh yeah, shit, I ain't doing that though, or I ain't ratchet like them, or I ain't going through the things they going through. You can justify your life where you might be kind of like, you can do better. Everybody ain't meant to be the same, but you can definitely do better. And a lot of people settle in life, they just settle and, they be cool with wherever they at. And, everything for everybody. Everybody's not meant to be a CEO. Everybody's not meant to be a boss. Everybody's not meant to be in the mailroom.
Somebody's got to be the worker.
Somebody got to be the worker.
Somebody's got to be out there handling the business.
Somebody got to be handling business. Somebody got to be getting them tickets. Somebody got to be, making sure the seats is filled. So I get it, but at the end of the day, if that's not what you're really striving to be, and that's not who you are as a person, and that's not what you really want to be in life, then why would you settle for? So that's what I'm talking about. So the person that's comfortable there and they want to be there.
I mean, I think people sell themselves short a lot of the time because they think that they just can't achieve it or it's not attainable. But that comes from mental warfare. You know what I mean? We're taught not to believe in certain things. And we're taught that once you get to a certain age, you can't live out your dreams anymore. Or you put your children before your own dreams. And like, why can't you do both? Like, why do you have to stop your whole life? And because you're your parent now, I think the number one thing you should be showing your kids is how to get up and chase them dreams, but still provide a lifestyle of different facets of how to be strong and how to lean on people and find a balance along the way. But I think it's amazing how society has taught us to really give up on a lot of things or just settle for that's what you got. Like, it's okay to just have a job if that's what you want to do. It's okay to be an entrepreneur if that's what you want to do. But if it's not what you want to do and you just kind of like getting through life, that fulfillment, that depression, that ill feeling that you feel sometimes at the end of the night, you feel like you're just not serving that purpose for yourself. That's what you're battling because it's not even the job because Betty loves her job. She loves Wendy's fast food line. Like that's where she loves to be at. She strives there. She's been there 15 plus years. We all have met a Betty in the Wendy's. But then you got somebody totally different that wants to be the CEO of Apple.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I just feel like we have to walk in what serves us. And I feel like the problem with social media sometimes is that it portrays you as if you have to be these things, as if you're not living a good life, if you're not a boss and you don't make six figures. Right. And it's like, there are great everyday working people out there surviving just fine, making their 9 to 5, the Monday to Friday process work for them. They get to go on vacations. They get to buy new cars. They get to do all these things with their children. Like their lives aren't shortened because they didn't decide to be all the way up here. But again, they're living in their purpose. So they're able to enjoy their lifestyle and be thankful in their position. And I think that's what I'm saying. That the social media gives you like this glitz and glamour, like, ooh,
if we keeping it real,
shiny.
Yeah, if we keeping it real, and what's just crazy is I know some people that's living regular lives, got regular 9 to 5s, and taking and living a better life than people that's claiming to be a boss and doing their own thing and got your job. Because the thing that people don't realize is, when you work for yourself, it's the good part of that is like it's you work for yourself. Like you answer to yourself, you answer to no one. You set your hours, you set your time. You are the creator of your destiny and where it's gonna go. The flip side of that is everything's on you. So with everything being on you, you have to show up, and you probably got to show up earlier, and you got to leave later. So other people get the benefit of saying, look, I can do the same thing, but for a fraction of the time because I have this job where I just got to show up at a certain time and I get to leave at a certain time. And as long as I do that, I'm going to get paid a set amount of money every time I do that.
But you can count on that. It's coming.
It's coming 100%. You don't have to worry about, oh man, if I do enough sales or if I talk to enough people or if I, structure my business right this month. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you do have to worry about those things. You know what I mean? So sometimes while that person is trying to worry about trying to get their entrepreneur stuff off the ground and really get going, or they keep reinvesting in themselves, it's costing a lot more money, it's draining a lot more resources, taking a lot more time, where the other person has time to be able to actually stack his money. He knows exactly what he's getting, so he can allocate what's going to go towards bills, what's going to go towards, saving. You just got to have that mentality, and then boom, you can set your vacations at the end of the year if that's what you're going to do, all these different things. So you don't have to be, a boss or a CEO in order to be able to enjoy life, but you definitely got to be able to, plan, what I mean? Whatever position that you're in and wherever you are, you got to plan right so that you can make these dreams a reality, because anybody can have a dream. Like I said, my dream is to get to the moon. But what am I going to do that's really going to get me there? You know what I mean? Because I could dream all day, but what's going to make the dream a reality now? Okay, that's the dream, but we know that that's a very, very big dream. So what will it take for you to get to the moon? So many different ways. We even got with Twitter X now, right? But what's these different ways going to get you to the moon?
So I was told that the sound is really low on the live.
The sound is low on the live?
The sound is low.
I could put a laser mic to that phone, which means basically we'll have like a clip mic or a mic that's close, and then it don't have to be far. Right now, it's getting the sound from being from over there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Or I could just talk a little louder.
I mean, you was talking a little soft, you know what I mean?
Am I?
You was a little soft, you know what I mean? In the beginning, that's all I was like, bring it up a little bit, you know what I mean? That might be a nice way of saying,
Okay. Well, okay, then I'll raise the tone just
Remember
a
the old Bugs
tad.
Bunny? He was doing a symphony. Raise that thing up a little bit.
Do I remember that?
You might
I don't
not
think
before your
so.
time. I don't know,
We have a lot of those moments.
cartoons now.
I wanted to see kind of maybe what's going on the live a little bit.
Let me see what we got going on the live. We got like a lot of comments on the live.
I would just like to know if they can hear us. Oh, you know what? We never even got to the point of like, who are we? Who are you? Who we think we
Kawan
are?
Money Mayo. They don't know that already?
They know that if they on here. They know that.
Yeah, all right. But
on
somebody might just hear this for the first time on YouTube. Like, who is this family? All right, Kawan Money Mayo, successful online entrepreneur, 6-7 figure earner, top fit, online marketer, all that good stuff. I mean, you hear it multiple times all throughout the years.
First, just rewind the videos.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm Stephanie Mayo. I'm probably the other side to Kawan Money Mayo. I'm the quiet, the busy bee worker. I am the background, I feel like. So I like to do a lot of the paperwork, the miscellaneous things, the emails, the business side, the financial, the payroll. That's where I get my fun stuff. I'm also the loving wife. Said wife. And then we also have children. So we have 3 children and 1 granddaughter. If you didn't know, yes, we're grandparents. We have a big family combined, like both sides of our family, huge. Just his side of the family, even bigger. So, we're just multifaceted people. I think we do business together. We travel a lot. We definitely like to travel.
4 children too.
Duffy, is he really a child? Like, didn't he just turn 35?
I mean,
shout out to Duff.
Raekwon is not a child either.
Oh, you know what? Let me just say, we got 2 big ones and 2 small ones. That works. So the 2 big ones, they big. So shout out to Duffy, shout out to Raekwon, shout out to Monty, shout out to Destiny, because that's our squad. But other than that, I think we live life according to our own rules. We have never been one to follow the rules per se. If you know a little bit about us, then you know where we come from, you know where we've been. So I just like the aspect of being able to share our lifestyle with people, because we work from home. Like literally we spend all day at home. We typically leave sometimes, but the majority of our day is on computers. I also do trading, Forex. Shout out to the Forex side. But we're always into something. We have a book publishing company, Uprock Publications. That's been 12 years now.
12 years, how it all started. Upright Publications, the book.
So, I mean, we're busy bees. We like to work hard. We got some great new things coming out like later this year, early next year. Like we are busy, but I feel like we don't get to do this enough. So even though you always see us moving and grooving and starting businesses and making money online and doing that, what do the Mayos watch on television?
They wouldn't even believe that I watch the type of stuff that I watch. Believe it, I guarantee you, no one can guess why. And someone asked too. They said, "What's that in Kwan's cup?" Because they know I don't be drinking. So
He's funny. He's funny.
Apple juice. Yeah. Yeah, toast. I tell you.
Cheers.
But they know me. See, they know me. They
There's
was like,
no apple juice in mine.
they was like, yeah, there's no apple juice in her.
No.
She's the drinker, but not the drinker. But but she's the life of the party. So she's gonna get started. But honestly, this year I started drinking just a little bit more because she introduced me to like a good margarita, and I was like, hey, you know what? That actually wasn't bad. But I don't know, it done reverted back because we just went out the other day for some cheap tacos and cheap drinks, and them things was not the business.
What a time we had.
And
What a time. You wouldn't even believe the time.
And it reminded me why. I said, see, that's why I never liked alcohol, because that's why I remember like you're tasting like that. So, but hey, I keep it real. I've seen the difference in a good drink and a bad drink now.
It was a 29
$29.
Yeah, it was tacos and tequila.
All you
And
can eat.
my first time ever being there, our first time ever being there. And I was very disappointed with their service and the way that they were acting. But I think we definitely accomplished the mission, got our money's worth, and had a good time in the process. So it's nothing like hanging out. We got to hang out with our brother and our sister. So good
Yeah.
times, good times. Okay, so tell me what's going on over there. And again, we love topics. So if you feel like hearing something or you want an opinion on something or you want to see what we might be thinking.
Questions, Q&A. What's on your mind?
Okay.
We got my man Mark Sterling in the building. Lonnie,
Oh,
Angela
you
Jones.
guys.
Got my brother in the building. Michelle. John said husband and wife goals. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Pretty much.
I can hear you guys loud and clear, but I'm using my 15 Pro Max titanium. iPhone gang. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's not even start this debate.
He said, I can hear you loud and clear. You know what I mean? Loud and clear. That's what I'm talking about. It's the iPhone. See, hey, so all the people I can't hear right now must be on Androids. It got to be.
No comment.
Hey, Amber. All right, so let's see. So, all right, so look, we answer any questions you guys. We're open book. So if you guys got a question, let us know right now. Now it's your chance. Now it's your shot. You know what I mean? You might always assume something. You might be watching. I'm like, I bet. And then you just never really knew, though. So if that's the case, this is your shot.
And I think going forward, I would get your Q&A part down because once I really want to figure out the topics and structure certain shows, we won't probably do Q&A. So put them out there while you can.
Yeah, put it while you can.
Or if there's a topic you want to hear us talk about, because future, we might not do so much live activity.
How did y'all meet? What have been your biggest struggles? How did you pull through? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, those are some good questions. Okay, well, go ahead.
I'm setting that one off.
Which question would you like to answer?
We can answer all of them. You
Okay,
answer them
but
in a
one
row.
of us, do we have to answer both of, do you want answers from both of us?
All right, so the first
How
one.
did we meet?
So the first one is how did we meet?
Okay, so this is a good story. So I was working at a skating rink in Georgia. Shout out to Sparkles, because if there was no Sparkles, there would be no Mayos. So, but I had been working there for a few years already, and I used to. Oh, okay, I forgot. I got to talk louder. So I was working there for a few years. Okay, Richie. So, and then I seen him coming in with his son for quite some time, you know, just in passing. I would bring my little sister up there to skate. They became friends. It just was kind of like a natural by nature. We just kind of started meeting with each other in the same spaces and places. But then
That was around the time where I got caught up, had to go do some time, sit away for a little bit. And then, what was that, like 4 years? So 4 years went by, 4 quick calendars.
not quick calendars.
Yeah, it wasn't quick, but 4 years went by. But then when I came back, everything had changed. The world had changed. I went in. It was all about MySpace. You know, having your top 5. What was that? Your top 5 or something? I think it was. You know what I mean? That was a big deal. Who's the first 5 people on your list?
Not
So,
MySpace.
but
I loved it.
It was MySpace, and wasn't even no Facebook at the time. I think it had just came out, 2008. And it just came out, but no one was on it. It was super plain, and I went in. And then when I came home, it was a whole different world. Nobody was on MySpace. Justin Timberlake bought MySpace, changed into some like music
Did
weird
he
platform.
really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wait, he did.
He
And then it
invested in
got kind of corny.
Yeah, it got corny. It got all whack. It's still up now, whack. Bad investment. I know he like, man, that was the worst investment.
Whatever happened to Tom?
Oh, Tom around here chilling. He cashed out. Tom was smart. He cashed out.
He was like, I am Tom.
But I think he messed up. I think they offered them a lot more, and then they overplayed him. But he still cashed out something.
Oh, for sure.
Because Justin came in. But yeah, then I came home, and like I said, it was Facebook, and everybody was on there. So I went on there, and I just started finding all types of people that was already seeing that that I knew prior to, and she was one of them, and
He came looking for me, y'all. He said he was just happened to scrolling through
Just
mutual
scrolling-
friends. So
just
he
scrolling
said,
mutual. You know what I mean? Hey, I see you, nice and grown up. Okay.
He's so funny. And it's funny because we're coming up right around the same time, July, the beginning of July. Next week will be like 12 years since he came back to Atlanta. And then we was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, hey.
And that was only my birthday, right?
It was it was July 5th. I remember the day you landed. It was July 5th. Because it was after Chemo's birthday. He was like, my relative's birthday tomorrow, but I'm going to be out there. And I was like, oh, okay.
Birthday
Y'all was
present to
doing like,
myself.
yeah, well. Shit.
All right, but then it was a 3-part
It was.
question. So
I think what's been our biggest struggle?
why is your little brother so much better looking?
Who said that?
My little brother, of course.
No. No. Well, you know what? You can't help God's creations. Okay. That's what they say. So
She said, what was the biggest struggles and how did you pull through? Biggest struggle. My biggest struggle or your biggest?
I think we could individually answer that question.
Shoot, what was the biggest struggle? Biggest struggle was going to prison, I guess. But what, after that, once we came
Or
together?
like together. Did they mean like what was our biggest struggle together?
Biggest struggle together would be?
I think finding a balance. I feel like this is just from my standpoint. I do truly know that we work a lot. We know that. But I think it was really just discovering that we needed to find time. And I'm a big believer in that, find time for each other for sure. Like, I get it. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got dogs, we got birds, we got responsibilities, we got children, we got businesses. But if we don't stay strong, if we don't stay connected, if we don't stay grounded and in each other's lives and always intertwining things, then there's no way we can expect all of everything else to stay glued tightly together too. And that's from our family dynamic, that comes from our financial dynamic. If we don't express and keep sure that we're up with each other and we're making sure that each other is mentally strong, physically strong, we work out together. So we try to do a lot of things together. And I feel like it also helps that aspect of building a life with somebody. You want to know you can count on them. And so maybe I'm not going to jump on his back, but I know if I did, he can hold me. So I want to always know that he knows I'm going to put in the same amount of effort, time, and work to make sure our life is the same and vice versa, to give you that security and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and loving. And, and a big thing, I promise is the biggest thing, is that it's not always 50-50. It's really not. And I feel like that notion gets put out there like marriage is supposed to be, a relationship is supposed to be. That's me. Like, we're going to figure it out. Even if we're not even seeing eye to eye, we're going to figure it out because we have enough love and respect for each other to know that we have to figure that part out. And even though we may not always agree, and sometimes we will agree to disagree, but but nonetheless, I think we both have enough respect for each other to try to understand where the other one is coming from. And even if that means, maybe he didn't like my attitude. Maybe he didn't like the way I said something. Maybe he didn't like my response. But it doesn't always mean that that's how I meant it. That's how I said it. And maybe that's just how he took it. So again, that comes from communicating and talking and being willing to listen. A big part for me, I feel like I have had to learn to listen twice as hard as I can talk. I'm a talker. I'm a fire sign. I meet it head on. Like I'm out there. I'll jump out there. So the impulse to always have something to say in response or in rebuttal has just been I feel like a common thing that most people do. But again, just as a Black woman, I've always had to speak up and voice my opinion and make sure that I'm present in that room too. And you don't just think you can walk all over me. So getting with a strong man, strong Black man, and wanting him to lead and giving him the space to do so, I've had to learn to just pick and choose if I need to say something or not. It doesn't always have to be said. Sometimes it's just understood. So I feel like that's been one of my major struggles in getting into a serious relationship, having enough respect for how he feels and how it may affect him. And, it's not, like I said, it's not always 50-50, but I feel like we do a good enough job to where if it is 80-20 today, 3 months from now, it's 60-40 the other way. And so I never have a problem with staying in that spirit sometimes. We get outside of ourselves sometimes, or at least I do, but I have enough I'll have enough moment to be like, you know what? I'm gonna just go take 10. I'll be back. Maybe we'll finish this later.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that's all a man really wants. Like a lot of times, females don't really like. They be all like, I don't understand men, but all men really want is peace. That's it. If they can come home to a peaceful house, you know what I mean, a peaceful environment, all the rest is gonna fall into place. And we're not really that complicated. But once the peace is not there, we got to deal with nagging. We got to deal with stress. We already stressing the world. The world's already stressful. You're already stressed out there. When you come home, that's supposed to be a sanctuary. That's supposed to be like your castle. That's why I really believe in that. When they say your home is your castle. So that's why I try to make mine that. You know, I got all the things I love in my home. And that's the reason why. Because when you go into the real world and you get out there, you leave them doors, and you leave your spot, it get rough and the world don't care and it's tough already. So to imagine that you got to deal with the tough world, that all the stuff is going to do with from possibly getting laid off to someone hitting your car while you was out and about to, just all the trials and tribulations you're going to go through in life, and then you got to come home and then still deal with stuff with your significant other. That right there is like the ultimate, like, man, I'm better alone type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Or, you go find it somewhere else. So when two people can come to a common ground, like, yeah, you're not going to always agree 100% on things. That's just not realistic. But how do you deal with that, though? Like, people is under, like, what's that common saying? Oh, all couples fight. Like that's the worst saying because they really believe that. And when they mean by fight, I mean the type of fight where
Like the
they're
yelling, the
yelling,
screaming, the names. Okay,
cussing.
yeah.
Yeah. Every couple is gonna not disagree. Every couple is gonna get into it. Yeah, for sure. Like every couple is not gonna see eye to eye. But every couple don't fight though. Every couple don't come to, don't get physical. You know what I'm saying? Don't get to yelling and cussing and being disrespectful and taking you out of your name. And then, and if it does happen, it's definitely like, oh yeah, I could count on my hand how many times that happened. Yeah, we just had a moment, like, woof, yeah, that's why he said don't be drinking, like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be
Right.
something like that. Not know, like, yeah, that always happens. Yep, at least once a month. Sometimes once a week. This is how we get down, and. But again, that's the misconception, and then you wonder why people go around looking at relationships the way they do. You know what I mean? You married? Heck, no, that's not me. You ain't trapping me, or all the other stigmas that come with I'm happy alone. Like, who's really happy alone though? Like, who wants to be alone? Like, honestly, And yeah, it's cool if you're young. You could pull out when you're young, but like, think about how many people overplay their hand and was like, I mean, you overplayed your hand, and
End up alone.
Yeah, you end up alone in your later years, and it's like I don't have the resources just to go meet people now. I'm not just in no club. I'm not in no environment. So now you're on one of these apps, and people send you pics that you don't want. Uninvited. What's those cucumbers? Eggplants. You get you some
eggplant emoji.
You know what I mean? You get some unwanted eggplants. You know what I mean? You like, damn, you know what?
I heard the dating scene is like, hey, how are you? Hey, nice to meet you. Pick.
Eggplant. I guess.
Which I can imagine what it feels like to date right now in technology era. And mind you, I come from a single father, so I see his experience and I've seen his experience over time, and I was just like, it's not a good situation. The dating pool is getting slim and slim and slim, and the expectation is getting higher and higher and higher. These women want you to pay their bills on the first date. They want to get the steak, the lobster, the shrimp, and all the trimmings on the first date. And they too good for Applebee's now. I mean, I don't know them. I don't know them. Applebee's was a spot. Chili's was a spot when maybe that was 10, 15 years ago.
Not this era.
Now you got to go to the steakhouse and you got to take me to Shogun. And like, who are you? Like, I don't know you yet. Why would I be investing this much time and energy into you? And let's just be real. Most people what if the date doesn't go good? Then what do? You leaving out the bathroom window?
So you think on the first date there should be something just chill?
I think you should absolutely. And maybe going Dutchess is so bad. Maybe it'll keep you modest. You see how the episode. You know how it goes. I have seen time and time again how these women will just take a date with a man just for the dinner. Just for the dinner. That's absolutely just a waste of time and space.
Honestly, though, but to be real with you. You should be able to pick up on those type of vibes before it even get to that point, to be honest with you. Like, you can already see what type of woman you're dealing with, just like you can see what type of man. That's why I hate when people I don't let people make excuses when they end up in bad relationships a lot of times, but this person had bad qualities to begin with. You know, like, yep, he didn't have a job when he met you. Yep, he didn't have nothing going on. Yep, he already had 2, 3, 4, 5 baby mamas already. Yep, he wasn't already taking care of the other kids. I thought he'd take care of mine when we had ours, but I was kind of shocked he didn't take care of them.
That's true.
Like, come
That's
on,
really
like,
true.
you already know what you're dealing with. And the same thing in reverse, you know, this woman, would never cooked anything, never
But you know
was-
what they said? They'd be like, I can change them.
That's ridiculous.
I could change them. I might be able to change them. I might be able to help them
I think
out.
some people just settling. I mean, for some people they do that, but I think you only try to change people when you're already in love. Like, you're already in love, you're in that situation. Now you start seeing these bad qualities come out, because a lot of times I tell people, you don't know what you're dealing with until 6 months to a year in anyways. Let's be honest. A person's showing you what they want to show you, but then 6 months in, that's going to come down. They can't help themselves. Your first argument, something's going to happen, and you're going to get to see some realness. Like, okay, this is how you really are. And then a year in, for sure. Like, I'm comfortable now. We're in love. Now, this is what it is. So once you get to
they
see...
flip the script on you.
Yeah, they flip the script, right? So
they take their little hair off like, this is what it is.
That's what it is. Oh, it was a wig. That was a lace.
Or they'd be like, look, this comes off.
So once you get to that point and the lace come off,
I mean, the comfortability though, you want to get to a comfortable state. You do not want to have to always feel like you got to hide that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But
if
that's the problem.
last.
But that's when you know what you're dealing with. So
But
at that point,
it's hard to be vulnerable, because if you start showing people a raw version of you or a side of you that maybe not everybody gets to see, how do you take that rejection? What if they don't like that side of you? What if they tell you like, oh no, you need to put that back on the head, or like, Gino, keep the hat on all day. But I'm just saying, like, when people get to that space and they're like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be open and honest, or whatever the thing is, and then they get that rejection, or they get that, oh, I can't deal with that. It does not make you come back a second time and be vulnerable. If anything, it puts up this ice cold box wall around it. Like, nope, I'm not talking about that again. And I think that it ruins it, because, not everybody is the same. This guy's not going to be that guy and vice versa, or that lady's not going to be this woman. But I don't know. The dating pool would just not be like, ooh.
that's why you see so many people single. And that's why you see people going through it. And that's why you see people on 90 Day Fiance.
So that's why some people may settle too, because they like, look, I'm not going back out there. I know what I'm dealing with here with this one. So I can deal with this, but I can't deal with that. And I think that's a big part of relationships too, is when you get with somebody and then you realize they got like a thing about them you can't deal with, or maybe they got like a tick or whatever it is, but you be like, I can't deal with that.
But that's what I'm saying. All these things going to be revealed. So if you don't rush it and you let it really take its time, and then you see, like, you can't go from 0 to 100. You know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, I met you today, I'm getting married tomorrow. Like, all right, well, now you didn't know nothing about that person. And then when this person shows you who they really are, you're already married. Now you're in the situation. So, like I said, people just got to stop rushing. Really see what you're dealing with. See what type of person, this person is through time. They're going to reveal itself. Is this person even compatible with you? Because opposites attract, so y'all don't have to be alike. But
that's true.
You definitely got to attract. I mean, we're both, like you said, you like to be out. I like to be in. You know what I mean? I'm an introvert. You're out. Like, so we don't have to say, no, y'all got to be exactly the same in order to attract. But actually, it's probably going to be different. It has to be opposites, just like two magnets,
That is true. Yin and yang. I mean, there's got to be different qualities that attract other different qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really, I think, likes themselves enough to want to be with somebody just like them, right?
Absolutely.
I would not want no loud mouth. I would not. I would be like, absolutely, it's quiet time.
Anthony says, his sister always says, time will tell what people will not. Facts.
That is for sure. That is for sure the absolute answer.
Facts. And
I couldn't even imagine.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, a person's gonna reveal exactly who they are in time. You can't hide it. You can't keep on putting up a front. You can't keep on showing this fake person you are. It's gonna happen. You just gotta just wait it out. But if you rush into situations and you let lust take over, because lust will fool you. The lust will be good in the beginning. The sex is great. Everything. Y'all doing everything for the first time, so everything was awesome. That comedy show was awesome. That concert we went to was awesome. Club, dinner, all that stuff. But once you done did that dinner 3, 4, 5 times over, once you done already seen every show that you can possibly see, once there's no more movies to watch until the next 6 months that come by, then it's like, okay, now what do you have outside of that? Now let's get to the realness part of this. And sometimes that's when things start to go left because you start realizing, you know what? I don't have as much in common with you as I really thought I did.
Yeah, or it'd be the total opposite. Y'all were the same people in the beginning, and then 20, 30 years,
That's
we be
true.
seeing that too. You done been married for 40, 50 years, and you gonna divorce now? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. In all honesty, you know this person, like, if y'all aren't on the same page, again, y'all probably grew apart. Y'all probably let some little things, this person does that and that person does that. And it's cool to have separate activities, but you were still a unit. Like, you were supposed to still be one. You're in a relationship together. How do you not spend time together or do things together? Shout out to the Vegas Riders. Big Daddy loves his little bike club. I'm not a fan of bikes, but I like to go. I like to go. They're a good time. They're a good space. They always keep me laughing. So no, I'm not going to just jump on a bike tomorrow and go ride with them. Absolutely not. But I will sit on the back and go beep, beep, beep. So I just feel like it's important to stay in each other's face a little bit. Like, hey,
Got to have that balance.
you want to go?
Joel said, what do you trade?
Oh, okay. So I trade. I've been on my trading journey for some time. So I trade Forex. I love Forex. I get it. I'm working my way into indices and, playing around with gold and US 30, but my heart and soul is just Forex. I love it. But, you just gotta stay the course. I feel like the number one thing my trading journey has taught me is to stay disciplined in myself, to always believe in myself and trust myself, because everybody else see things differently sometimes. So what works for you doesn't work for you, and what works for you doesn't work for you, and what works for y'all don't work for me. But some kind of way we can come together and make all of this work in the same sense. So I really enjoy the journey. I'm excited for some things coming next year. Can't talk about it, but you know what I mean? Always in the cut. But I recently found a great group of people that have been a breath of fresh air in that community. There's some scammers out there. There's some scammers out there. That's a video in itself. But I have been through some situations where, yeah, you think you're paying for one thing and they shot this up and it's a bunch of marketing. It's a bunch of smoke and mirrors and they didn't deliver. But nonetheless, I can't let that stop me and what I'm doing. And greatness is just going to be great regardless of the journey, even though you have to take some bumps and bruises and lumps. And, Rocky got knocked down quite a few times, but it still didn't take away the champion inside of him. And he knew he could be better. So I just know that my journey is definitely in trading. I get excited when I open them charts. You know what I mean? Jumping up at 1 a.m. to see the news. That's me. But I enjoy the trading space. It's definitely a big money maker if you're smart out there.
Amber said, definitely hard to learn, but when we let our men lead, they are their best selves when we play our position.
Absolutely. And that's a big thing that we're just not taught sometimes. Like, it's okay to be an independent woman. That's a great thing to be independent. I'm an independent woman, but at the same time, I don't need him to do everything for me, and I don't want him to do everything for me. But I've learned to lean on him when I'm not feeling my best, or when I don't feel like I can handle everything. Or maybe today's just not a good day and I got a headache. I don't feel good. My stomach hurt. I went through this dental emergency a few weeks ago, and I had to have a root canal and some other crap. So Daddy, I need your help.
But I think the issue comes in with people thinking that it's a negative.
It's a weakness.
It's a weakness to be called submissive. Like to say, oh yeah, she's submissive. Like, well, that's a submissive woman.
Think about how you've always heard that terminology, though. You've only heard it from women that do what I say, or, she does what she's told. So she's like, no, it doesn't have to be all of that. I know what you expect of me, and I know what I can give you. So if we can find a way to make that a submissive role, but me still have that balance to feel like I can make decisions. I don't have to ask for every single thing, but it is a common respect. A man is supposed to lead, because why would I be leading him? I mean, in the same sense, yeah, you're great, but a woman is just meant to be the softer side of a man. I don't feel like we're always having to lead that charge. We lead that charge, but from the softer side. Like we're nurturers. We love our children. We're givers. We breathe earth and life and we take things and we make them abundant. So why do we always have to be in charge? The one who said so. It's my way or I'm not going to be with him. And I don't believe in that. I'm sorry. I don't go for that because I've seen so many women say those things and live by that, but end up unhappy. Or when they do get in a relationship, they can't fully trust that man or allow him to lead them. And so you
can't
have a
soften
power
up.
struggle. Yeah, you have a power struggle. Like, no,
They
I'm
want-
the man. So who wears the boxers and who wears the pants?
Can't soften up.
So I don't know.
Cast some eggs. Make your own eggs.
I don't want to be tough all the time. Like, I want to be nice. You want some breakfast? Like, I don't feel like I should have to be tough like that. And if I have to be that way, he's got his teeth gritting behind me too. If I'm mad, he mad. Like, so again, I think it really is just finding that balance and just having enough love to, like I said, be vulnerable enough to be submissive. It's not easy. There are times when I tell him something and he may tell me his opinion and I don't agree with it. Or I feel like we should take this approach or we should do that. And so we have to figure out how that's going to work best for us without me feeling like my opinion is invalid and him feeling like she's not going to stop until she gets what she wants. And it's never even about that because sometimes a lot of the time we come to an agreement that works the best for both of us. Or it works out just perfectly to where we don't have to be stressed about the situation. So I don't know. I don't know how we start to teach that message, but it's definitely one that needs to be talked about and widely respected because women, we're great leaders. We could be the president, but do we have to be? I don't want that job. I'd rather be the first lady of the White House. I'm running the show from behind the scenes.
Yeah, even being at looking at it being negative, like if you happen to be just a stay at home mother, wife, you know what I mean, cook, clean, all that. But honestly, would you rather pay somebody else to do that? Would you rather say, you know what, we're both getting it, and we're getting it to the point that, we have no time to be at home. So we got nannies, we got maids, we got daycares, we got all these different things, but that takes the child out of the presence of the actual parents, and now you got other people raising them, and then when things unfortunately happen too, like children being touched and all that. It's like, well, I mean, look, you put them in the arms of a stranger, anything could happen. They had no ties to this person. They wasn't even nurtured enough to know how to even respond. So you could even talk to them like, hey, you know what, when you're dealing with strangers, if they touch you in a certain way or they deal with you in a certain way, then this is how you need to respond. They even too young for that. So if they're not even at an age where they can make a decision where they can say, you know what, this isn't right, or nah, you're not going to do that to me, then guess what? They definitely shouldn't be already in the hands of people if it can be helped. I know some things can't be helped. You got to do what you got to do. But if you can help it, then you should strive for that. That should be like, you know what?
Oh, that's so weighted. It's so weighted because yes, I think every woman would love to raise their children and always be a hands-on present mom, but I feel like it's just not respected as if you are a working woman contributing financially. And I know I would say probably about 85% of the women out there can probably feel that comment because no grown woman wants to be codependent on a man to hand her money for if she wants her nails done or she wants to go out or do things with her friends or all of that. But the man works. So the man is the financial contributor. So yeah, you do depend on him. But in the same aspect, it's hard to say, oh, but your job is noble. It is a noble job. But how many, how widely are moms really respected? You just get the title, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home moms work twice as hard than a working mom sometimes, in my personal opinion. And don't be a work from home, stay at home mom. Like the struggle is real out there right now. And don't let the dad not be present or not be able to be around, or he's working too. It's a struggle to have your family intact with how expensive everything is, the inflation, having your children, like you said, in daycare. Daycare is expensive. I heard that thing's like $300-$400 a week per
crazy.
kid. Like that is somebody's car note for the month. And I'm paying you to watch my kids so I can go work a job that I really don't want to be at. It's just so hard to say, be proud of the stay-at-home mom, because then you bear the burden of seeing your husband stressed out or your partner stressed out, always working, never enjoying their life. Or I say this a lot. He's always in his office from sun up to sundown. Sometimes I got to come up there and like, hey, we got to do something. We got to get up out of here. We got to go for a walk. We got to go to the park. We got to go do something. But it can't just be all work one side and no play on any other side, because then where does the time come in for your relationship? Where does the time come in to spend time with one another and then your children and so forth and so forth? So we do get caught up in why we're doing our jobs, because we have to cook and we have to clean. And but he did say, would you pay somebody? I would pay somebody to be my chef and my maid. I would. But again, I would spend more time with my kids. I really would. I have, our 14-year-old is growing up so fast. I'm just getting sad. And then we have a 2-year-old. So we got a hot another 18 years of just full time in it with children, and our granddaughter's still young. So it's like we have a lot of time left that we're trying to be present for, and we're trying to make sure that we keep the balance between raising a family and being financially stable and having fun, but being responsible and making sure all the stuff happens, because the gas don't put itself in the car. The rent don't pay itself. Mm-hmm. The car note don't pay itself. The water heater didn't get fixed by itself. The vacations don't be planned with imaginary Monopoly money. So it is a true balance. So this might be Buy It Alive.
Buy It Alive. They about to get they getting ready for
the debate.
Oh, what time it starts? 6:30?
It should have started already, I think.
Oh yeah, so we still got y'all live with us. We appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, because was y'all trying to watch the debate? I'm not even gonna talk about, but it was funny. The lady in the nail salon was like, "Who are you voting for?" I was like, "Oh no, ma'am, we're not gonna start off like that." I was like, "Just French tip on the toe." I was like, "No, we're not." But I don't do politics.
Yeah, people get crazy on politics.
They
man.
do.
Hey,
we don't do politics.
They take your head off. You know what I mean? Ready for some politics. Oof. I said I need them kind of followings. We get a following like the politics.
I don't like the candidates. That's why I really don't want to talk about it. Look, we bet on both of these. We already put our money on them once, both times, and it didn't work out for us in the best degree. I'm not a gambling woman. You know what I mean? I'm not a betting, as my dad used to say, a betting man.
I mean,
I'm not putting my money on red or black.
I don't get involved in politics, but at one point in time we was good, one point we wasn't. I can't say why. I can't say if it was things changed. You know what I mean? Because COVID. I mean, there's a lot of little different little factors. You know what I mean? You got handed a better situation than the other one did. I don't know. All I know is,
can we just talk about the inflation on everything right now?
I just know 1 year things was good and great, and then 1 year wasn't. So
you mean 4 and 4?
Years,
I mean, we've been.
So 4 years it was great one time, and everybody was hooting and hollering and had big money, and then 4 years later people broke and doing it. I don't care who's in office. I'm just talking about what's going on. So I can't speak on who's in office. I feel like the
world is feeling the grips of who they chose.
So whoever gets chosen on this next go round, let's just go to another 4 years of greatness. We can deal with some more. If y'all want to hand out some more money again, I'm cool with that too. Y'all can go ahead and do that.
Oh, the stimulus, huh?
Yeah, go ahead and stimulate the market again. Y'all want to hand us some more money?
They just might.
They handed out that money. Crime went down. People was big cheesing. No more hating was going on. People were living their best life.
Sales was up. Apple sales was up.
You know what I mean?
Everybody was getting that money.
Living their best life. Like I said, the crime rate went down. That's what let you know, man. It's the struggle. That's what causes all the drama.
Struggle.
That's what causes the most problems. That's what causes relationship problems. I tell you all the time, is money. It starts with money and then it trickles its way down. Very rarely it's just, that person changed. No, that money changed. That's what happened. They don't be.
I will say.
That money changed. Right?
I will say.
That money situation changed.
When that happens, I do feel like
you're going to see the worst of people.
It can definitely hinder a relationship if you're financially
and then everything else taken for the two things going to break a relationship up is money and sex. And if you having like a sexy relationship, that's going to break it up money. But think about if your money funny, then you ain't trying to have sex. You ain't even worrying about that. You thinking about how the hell we going to pay the rent. So now, boom, that takes a hit. And then it's just a domino effect from there. And then everything else just goes downhill. So that's why when people, they say, money don't buy happiness, but broke definitely don't. And the quicker you get your ass some money.
Where you get that one from? That was a good one.
Man, you get your best of money. You know what I mean? Shit, I bet you things stop being funny because every time I see people have problems, I always say like, "Are you doing anything financial?" Yeah, I know it. See, and then everything just starts to trickle from there.
It is true, though. It is very true, especially if you're already feeling stressed. If you're feeling the pressures of life, you're not there. You're not there. Most people lie awake at night thinking about how they're gonna finagle this and pay that and make this happen and make that happen, and it's a real life struggle. It is a real life struggle. I don't even see how people survive on one income, to be honest.
Man, they gotta do what they gotta do, and that's what's crazy because most people is barely getting by, doing barely making it, make just enough. You can't even afford one not paycheck to come through. Like one paycheck
You
don't
can't
come
miss
through.
a day. You
it knock
cannot
your
miss
whole thing
a
off.
day.
Can't miss a day. You know what I mean?
If you miss that day, that changes the whole paycheck. That changes everything. Like that changes how you're going to pay your rent, how much you're going to be able to pay on this bill, and how to push this to that. And you got to do all of that.
And that was the true motivation to really make me go so hard, and that's the reason why I can't leave the office. So that's the flip side. Is if you the main breadwinner and the provider and all that, it's like, oh, there's no crutch, there's no person to lean on. You know, it's all on you. You know, if you don't provide, then we're not gonna have. So it makes that person have to go extra hard. It makes them not really be able to have a time to take off, you know, even when they should be taking off, you know, phones always in hand, even when you're supposed to be on vacation and stuff. Like, nah, I can't even afford it. Because I remember one time I said, you know, all right, I'm going to not pay attention to the phone, and I'm not going to bring the laptop. And, you know, we're going to really have this vacation.
I remember this.
And, man, I came back home to pandemonium. I think we was only going a week or two, and you think I was going like 2 years. And I was just like, dang. It was like, I could just see how quick that people would just out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
You know,
they'll disappear quick.
Yep.
Especially in business.
And it's the straight business. You know, everybody else got something to offer too. So you got to stay on top of your game. You got to stay consistent. You got to always be in to win it. And the moment that they see you falling off of that, they're like, something changed, or, you know, do you fall off, or you're just not active right now. I'm going to pay attention to somebody else. So I just always feel like I can't afford that to happen. You know, I can't afford to ever just get comfortable, you know, and it's unfortunate, but it's reality, you know, until you secure the bag in such a way. And I think the only time you do that is when you secured the bag 5 times over. Like, yeah, you made this, but you need to make that 5 times over. So your first million, you can easily lose it. So you make $1 million, you need to make that 5 times over. Go
That's
make
crazy.
5 millions.
They even say that now. $1 million ain't nothing in this.
Yeah,
time
$1
of
million
day.
nothing. In
You
this
can
day and
spend
age.
that. You can spend that way.
I mean, you
over.
could buy one house and then that million gone. You know what I mean?
I know.
So you gotta think about it. That's not you know, you want something that, like I said, you gotta be in them double. Unfortunately, the double digits now. It's 10 million, 20 million, 15. But don't get it twisted. Any million is your start, because once you do that, you got leverage. And if you do your money right, and you don't make bad choices, you don't go buy the house right away, and you don't go get the car and all that, and you just say, you know, you award yourself. Now that's another thing. Now don't just work and
Definitely gotta love on yourself a little bit.
You gotta reward yourself, but at the same time, be smart. Like, even when y'all see me buy things, the thing that y'all don't realize is, like, yeah, I might spend $20,000 on a pendant or $10,000 on a watch or a ring, but before I do that, I done made it like 3 times over. You know what I mean? So that's my number. It's like, I need to make 3 times that amount before I spend that amount. So that way it's like I spent it, but I made 2 times that back. So if I spent 20, you know what I mean? I made 60. You know what I mean? So the 20 is nothing no more, because I still got 40 put away, and then I still got my money coming in monthly. So then when the new money come in, now I'm probably up 50,000, and it's like nothing. I just bought whatever I bought, whether it's a car, whether it's a piece of jewelry, whether it's whatever. But I'm going to always make sure that it's like, I'm not going to make 10,000, spend 10,000.
Right.
If I spend 10,000, I definitely put away 30.
Yeah, he's funny. He is very much so like that. From the day that I've met him, he has always been like that. But then he has this shelf in life. I call it the shelf of things. This is the Mayo shelf of things. And he buys what he wants, and then he plays with it for a little bit, and he puts it on the shelf. And he goes and buys something else, and he plays with it for a little bit, and then he puts it on the shelf. But the shelf is so big now, so big, that I'm like, you need another house for this shelf of things. The VRs, the cameras, you name it. This man has over 5 of them. And I'm just like, you don't think? And his number one excuse is, but I don't have to go buy it if I need it. I have it right here. I have an option. I have 2. I have 3. I have what I need.
Better have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Can somebody let him know that that's borderline hoarding?
But look at it. You know what's so funny? But then it gets forgotten about. and then time moves,
Dust on it.
all that. And then one day something comes up and it's needed, and I pull it out, blow the dust off. Say, where'd you get that from? Or where did that? Yeah, see?
Shake the dust off.
Yeah, we needed that. Yeah, you like these little VR sets, huh? They just told us we can go in Facebook VR now, but you need a set. Here you go.
Oh my goodness. He don't use them things. He's got 1, 2, and 3.
The biggest problem with VR sets right now, I'm gonna tell you, is not the fact they're not cool. It's not the fact that you can't use them. It's the fact that they're just not. Everyone don't have one yet. So it's like when the cell phone first came out. It was so cool to have a phone, but everyone didn't have it. So it sucked that you couldn't call everybody. But now a phone's a household thing. I'm pretty sure within 5 years or more, then a VR set's going to be like everybody has one. Like everyone has one. And then when they have their VR sets and they all can use them simultaneously, then I think that's when it's going to be cool.
It's just how the cell phone happened, because I remember the house phone. So when you got the little cell phone in your pocket, the little block Nokia, I was like, we on.
Man, because imagine seeing something cool, like you're looking at a movie and the movie's like 100 big, 100-inch screen, and you're enjoying this, but you don't want to watch it. And your person sitting next to you just looking at you look goofy.
Yeah, you're looking crazy, standing in the middle of the room.
Yeah, so y'all both got to get it, you know what I mean?
You're looking crazy. Okay, so well, I know we're close. We're getting to that time frame. I just want to see some more questions, make sure people kind of got the vibe, but I think overall, this is what the goal is. You know what I mean? Bring us your problem. Come and talk to us about some things. Another big thing that I stress the most is, this day and age just don't have. I personally don't have my grandparents, or even like my mother passed away some time ago. His mother has passed away. So, when you think about having your elders and having those connections to grown-ups who have lived life and, have been through some of the situations that you're currently experiencing, or anyway, even just asking for advice, we just don't have enough role models or enough people willing to be candid enough and open and honest to answer some of the questions that you feel like may be tough, or not even like people love to talk to a therapist because it's a stranger. They don't know your business. So I feel like that's what we do sometimes. And even for our kids or our brothers and our sisters or people that just know us, I feel like it's always important to just know you have a open, safe space to be able to chat with people or be honest and ask your honest opinions and not feel like you're being judged, because we're not judgmental people. I personally am not a judgmental person. I like to let people live their life, but according to your own rules. And so what works for you doesn't always work for us, work for me. So vice versa. But I feel like we've always had a very open concept about accepting people and who you are, and different walks and different facets of life bring different information, bring different experiences. And I've overall I have like an eclectic group of people that I really enjoy talking to because they're also different. So
I think
that's what it need to be.
Yeah, I think that's what gave us an edge in life too, is the fact that we are very non-judgmental on all aspects, even with kids and where they're at in life. I told her, like, I'm never gonna be that old guy talking about back in my day. Like, I don't even do it now. Like, oh, the music is this, and I was like, man, we had the same. It was just different, but it was the same. We had our little ratchet songs. We had 2 Live Crew. We had Pop That, you know what? We had, Doodle Brown. Think about that song. Like, we had kids. The freaking, that's what we called it, but I was twerking. So it's just like, and then our parents' generation, they had, I forgot that old man's name. It was funny too, but it was some funny old songs I heard, record scratching, and he's saying some of the most raunchiest stuff. You know what I mean? And then they had Dynamite and stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah, for sure.
So every, go to bed. They had Richard Pryor, Red Fox. So every generation has it. Everyone's gonna go through it, and they're gonna become that old, out of touch parent. And because they're out of touch and old, they rather just say, back in my day or this generation. But you know what? And we live in an era now of information, which is so dope. And you don't have to be that person now. You can be the person that can get educated. You can hear something that you don't even know what it is. Go Google it and be like, oh, that's what that is. Or you can ask AI and get a full rundown on what that is now.
Man,
and you know what I mean? And be educated. So like, ignorance is no longer an excuse now. You know what I mean? Because we live in the age of information. It's right there at your fingertips. I tell people all the time, go to YouTube University. You ain't got to pay for nothing. You type anything you want in there and it's going to tell you. For the most part, probably tell you 10 times over, multiple different ways in multiple different languages from multiple different people even. So there's no excuse. I don't care from what you're trying to do, from being a top level marketer like myself to being a good mechanic. I suck at cars, but I bet you I can go on YouTube and find how to change oil. Oh, that's what you got to do. Oh, that bow at the bottom. Oh, okay. I know exactly what that, you know what I mean? And now, boom. Am I going to do it? Absolutely not. But
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah.
He likes to pull right up to the dealership. Like, excuse me, my car says it needs the
Period.
engine oil light needs to
For
be
the littlest
changed.
things, it could be the air is a little bit low in the tire.
Is the windshield wiper fluid
And
low?
we pulling up to Discount Tire for him to put that little bit of air in. You know what I mean? Yeah. Appreciate you guys. And for anybody that came on for the first time, say, oh my God, I didn't even know this was going on. You know, I was watching two guys debate right now over who's going to run the world. So that's somebody said. They said, I'd rather be here than watch two old men debate back and forth. So
You know,
appreciate you.
we
Appreciate you
appreciate it,
guys.
truly.
And tune in tomorrow or sooner for our actual podcast on the channel.
See you guys on YouTube.
See you on YouTube.